Here's a riddle for you. Who was the richest man in the Bible? Think about it. The answer, of course, is Noah. Why Noah? Because he floated his stock while the rest of the world was in liquidation. Boom, boom. The story of Noah is well known, but even then, we don't get the details right. You know the song, don't you?
The animals went in 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The animals went in 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The animals went in 2 by 2, the elephant and the kangaroo.
But actually, good song. Listen to the instructions Noah received. This is from Genesis chapter 7. God says, "Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate, and also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. 7 days from now, I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. 7 pairs of clean animals, 7 pairs of birds, 1 pair of the rest." So maybe the song wasn't quite right. But spare a thought for Noah, stuck inside for 40 days and 40 nights. What's a man to do? Well, I guess he could have gone fishing, but then again, he only had 2 worms. I wonder, are worms clean or unclean animals? I think I would go with unclean, but who's to say? And who is in the ark? Noah, of course, his wife, his 3 sons and 3 daughters-in-law. I do hope they got on for 40 days and 40 nights. Other people were invited, of course. 2 Peter tells us that Noah was a preacher as well as a boat builder. I guess that people didn't want to hear. That is, of course, until the rain started. But even then, they probably thought that it would blow over in a day or 2. There is an unusual verse in the middle of Genesis 7. It says, "And then the Lord shut him in." Conjures up an image of some divine hand closing the massive door on the side of the ark. Of course, God could just have delegated it to an angel. But the bottom line is the same. The day of salvation has ended. The day of judgment has come. And that is an uncomfortable truth in this story. So what does Noah do during these 40 days? Presumably he has to feed the animals. I guess some might have gone into hibernation. But eventually Noah has to face the fact that he has to spend time with his family. Of course, Monopoly hasn't been invented yet. That might be a lesson. But there's no Skype, there's no Zoom, but then again, there's no one to call. And he can't even play cards. You know why, don't you? Because the elephant fell asleep on the deck. It gets worse, I promise you. What type of lights did Noah have on the ark? Flood lights. And why did the worms have to leave behind their apples to get into the ark? Because they could only go in pairs. Did you hear that? The rain has stopped. 40 days and 40 nights of continuous rain, except that actually they were stuck on the ark for much longer than that. This is what Genesis 8 has to say. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the water had gone down. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters continued to recede until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. I can picture Noah and his family longing for the day when they can step out of their front door once more. The mountain peaks appear. The hillsides appear. The earth seems safe once more. Ravens and doves are sent out, and finally the day comes when the family emerges from the ark. And what's the first thing that Noah does? He builds an altar and expresses his gratitude to God for their deliverance. Good man. Likewise, one day, this present crisis will become but a distant memory. We need to hold fast to our values and to our faith at this present time. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 7 records that by faith Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear built an ark to save his family. By his faith he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with faith. So let us continue to be people who take faith seriously, not giving way to fear or anxiety, but trusting that the God who preserved Noah can equally well look after each one of us. Noah released all the animals from the ark, and he commanded them to go forth and multiply. Some months later he went for a walk and saw that the flocks and herds were regaining their numbers. But then he came across a pair of snakes who had laid no eggs and were just lying in the sun doing nothing. "Why have ye not multiplied?" he asked in good King James language. To which the snakes replied, "We can't. We are adders."